Hello again, breadcrumbs, and let me tell you, it's been a good year. On today's episode of Sandwich, we share the moments of reflection through Spirited. After 46 successful seasons of redemption, the Ghost of Christmas Present wants to bag the greatest redemption of all time, the unredeemable. As always, I'm Meat.
And I'm Cheese.
And welcome again to Sandwich. So, we left off last time about talking about how neither of us have seen this movie, but it's definitely one that I was very interested in. And that's because it's a weird spin-off of The Christmas Carol.
It's true.
It's true.
And they did mention Scrooged, which was funny.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of callings or callbacks.
Charles Dickens, Scrooged. What was the other one? That's about it. They didn't mention the Muppets. So.
No, I was actually really sad about that, but because that is my favorite Christmas Carol adaptation, actually. So I was pretty upset about that one. But to start off with the director, we have Sean Anders, which he's an American filmmaker and screenwriter, best known for writing films such as Hot Tub Time Machine, Dumb and Dumber 2, and Daddy's Home, which I've seen all three of these, and I love all three of them, especially Dumb and Dumber 2, When Harry Met Lloyd.
I've only seen Daddy's Home.
Still a great movie. Let's start off with some actors.
Also has Will Ferrell in it.
Yeah. And Daddy's Home, yeah. And also, who was that? Mark, what's his last name? Wahlberg, yeah. I did have a fun fact about Mark Wahlberg, because apparently, Sean Andrews...
He's not in this movie, by the way.
No, he's not. But this is more of like a fun fact about Sean Andrews, is a lot of the movies he's produced and directed has had Mark Wahlberg in it. Not too many, but...
Enough.
Yeah, enough to be a notable pairing. But, besides our normal two co-stars of Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, who we both have already spent a month each talking about, what are some other actors?
I think that you're going to have a longer list on this one for like the first time ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the only other one that I wrote down was Jimmy Fallon.
And that one, I wrote that one down too, even though he was technically
a cameo. Yeah.
But I'm surprised he was shown twice in that movie.
That's true.
I literally thought it was only going to be the beginning and... Oh, no, sorry, not twice, like 2.5, because he was part of the ending song, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So he must have... I wonder if that was originally written, and he's like, can I please? I can totally see Jimmy doing that. I definitely recognized a lot more. By watching the movie first, I, of course, recognized Octavia Spencer, who played Kimberly. Great actress, and Kimberly...
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
I've seen her in other stuff, I just didn't recognize her very much.
She has definitely aged, but not for the worst, for definitely the greater.
Yeah, she didn't look bad.
One of my favorite movies I've seen her, or movies and shows that I've seen her in, is The Help and Ugly Betty. Ugly Betty is another one of my favorite comfort shows, so I love when I see...
Is that a movie or a show?
That one's a TV show.
Okay.
That one's really good for any of the listeners who have seen it. And then I'm surprised you didn't recognize Rose Byrne, who played the Karen in the very beginning. Ironically enough, we were kind of talking about I Am Mother last time, and Rose Byrne was in I Am Mother.
I honestly was trying to figure out whether or not that woman was Anna Kendrick, because they kind of have a similar look.
You know, I totally
And I was just like, no, I don't think it's Anna Kendrick.
No. And then, of course, Tracy Morgan. How could you not recognize Tracy Morgan's voice?
See, but he only took off the hood at the end during the credit scene, so I didn't feel like it counted.
His voice is iconic. Best known to me with Fear Factor. Now that was just the best thing growing up, was to watch Fear Factor. I didn't care if it was fake or a prank show. It was still really awesome to see someone try to recreate anything to just scare people for some good old fun.
Was that the one where they threw people in the pit of bees? Or no, the pit of whatevers.
No,
like worms or something.
It was always not like actual bad things happen to them. It would be like
you're smothered in honey, but...
No, it was nothing like that.
What's the one that I'm thinking of then?
I don't know. That kind of sounds like the game show we were talking about last time.
I thought that was Fear Factor.
No, Fear Factor is where they like prank people into thinking something terrible is happening, and then right when they're really scared out of their minds, or they've breached that fear factor, they show that it was a prank that their friend signed them up to do. Like sometimes they'll stage aliens or kidnappings or occultists, or I mean it's probably traumatizing to some, but I loved it because they would reveal that hey, it was a joke, and the person, I want to say 9.5 out of 10 times was totally relieved that it was a prank. The other 0.5 might not speak to that friend anymore. I don't know. But that one Tracy Morgan hosted. And then yeah, the only other actress that I recognize, not from recognizing the film, but when I looked at the cast list, she's listed as number 3rd cast member, like just on the standard Google search, but she's not, that doesn't mean she's actually seen that often. You only get a glimpse of her, but it is Arasha Lulani, who just plays coworker in the flashback when Kimberly and Clint both work at the firm before he owns his own firm, and you kind of see her in the background. But yeah, no, she works at Smosh, and
like Smosh Games.
Yeah, like Smosh Games, Smosh Alike,
all the other Smoshes.
Yeah, all their other channels. Definitely like an iconic staple in the YouTube influencers. But yeah, she played in there, and then when I was kind of looking up at more information about the movie, there was a scene apparently more with that coworker, and it got deleted, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, those are the actors I had.
It's a goofy musical, to be sure, though.
Oh yeah, it definitely breaks a lot of fourth walls.
Yeah.
And like there's so many frame tales in it too, which is really nice. Which a frame tale is like a story within a story. Of course we have like past memories being different stories, but then we also have the Ghost of Christmas Presents past, which, you know, spoiler alert, you'll see it in the cast list if you look, but and if you watch the movie, of course, but he's the original Scrooge, which was such a awesome momentum in the movie to show like, hey, you know, the unredeemable can be redeemable. But yeah, I do have actually one specific fun fact. And I thought it was really funny. A lot of tiebacks to the last episode that we recorded, even if it's not in post, and it was just side comments we made. We were talking about the voices last time, right? So it was actually a notable fact of this movie that besides the voices, this was Ryan Reynolds' musical debut.
Did he sing in the voices?
In the very end.
Oh.
Remember that like odd ending scene that we were like, what is this?
Anna Kendrick was in that one.
Yeah, she was. See?
That's what I remember.
Well, this is oddly, weirdly connected. Yeah, I understand why The Voices wasn't his musical debut, because, again, calling back to that episode, the musical number was really odd to have in The Voices.
Yeah.
But this one is mainly musical numbers. You can't turn a corner without there being a musical number. As one of the quotes that I remember in the movie is that the afterlife is all a musical.
I love that the HOA lady in the beginning, who had been Scrooged, quote unquote, mentioned package thieves. She was like, sorry for stealing all your packages. I mean, someone else stole all your packages.
Yeah, and then the parents were like, what? She's like, ah!
Funny joke.
Yeah, geez, it was such a weird precedence to have, because they deemed her redeemable, right? They've labeled her redeemable. They had that whole scene where time is frozen and she can reflect on all that's happened, and all the workers come in and congratulate her, yada yada yada. Even though like she did all those things, like the stealing the packages and calling, you know, the forces that might be on people's lawns, yada yada. That one seemed very loosely. Like she did all those things, and it doesn't seem like they didn't, I guess, show how she was redeemed. You know, like they didn't show like where she might have changed.
Yeah.
But then the whole concept later on is Clint Briggs hasn't changed, even if he's made that small notion to make it where his niece doesn't ruin someone's life. Like that wasn't good enough. But I feel like Karen over here just had less of an effort. just by her.
Was her name
reaction.
actually Karen, or
Yeah,
you just calling
no,
her
her
Karen?
name was Karen in the cast list. I thought that was
Oh.
really funny. They even say her name, I believe, in that beginning scene.
Yeah.
And I remember.
I think Marley says it.
Yeah, I remember paying attention super good, always within the first 15 minutes of a movie. I am super invested in the first 15. And when they said Karen, I was like, of course she's a Karen.
I was honestly kind of excited that it was Marley who was in charge of the Get Help organization.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, because Marley's the dude who haunted Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. They even have that callback too when he's going through his montage of when he was first haunted. And man, I knew, like, I forget the actor's name and I didn't write him down, but I have seen him.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I have seen him from other things. I just couldn't remember. But his face speaks Marley. Like, he's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone else. He's got that nice stern seriousness. You know, he might like light up a little bit jokingly, but he's still very stern.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is weird. They never talk about whether or not it would be kind of cool to see where everyone started. Like, they go to Scrooge's startlement, but like, yeah, when did Marley become the head? Obviously, Ghost of Christmas Present happened within a few years after he was redeemed, but if Marley was able to do the haunting on Scrooge all that long ago, and Marley died pretty recently, right, in the original tale
Yeah, it was like a couple of years.
Yeah, because it was Scrooge's fault, if I remember correctly, when
What?
Marley died. Wasn't it Scrooge's fault? Like,
I have
Scrooge
no idea.
didn't murder Marley, but I'm pretty sure it was like,
Yeah,
due to his
worked him to
cruel.
death or something.
Yeah, either worked him no, I think exactly, it was worked him to death and his cruelty that made him die. But like, how did he become? I guess he wasn't someone to be unredeemable, or like not someone who had bad ways. Maybe his goodness, he's like, hey, you have a new calling to turn this guy around, like, be part of this team or something. I don't know. The lore, the back end of the lore, I think maybe could have had a little bit more building to it, even if it was like a small conversation to say like, oh, you only got this job because you were mad at me or whatever. I don't know. I guess that's the one part I didn't like. I jumped too far. But yeah, no, I love that with Marley. Oh, especially when he was haunting, when he was starting the haunt for Briggs, Clint, and he keeps getting interrupted during his music number.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
Every single time they said Marley, I just wanted to say, we're Marley and Marley.
Yeah.
Oh!
I thought it was pretty ironic because he doesn't want to sing anyway. He doesn't really like.
Oh yeah, he's not into the musical type.
Yeah. He's like, I just want to get this done and over with. And then Briggs just keeps raising his hand and stopping the whole ordeal. I just thought that was really funny. Did you notice any of the names that were on the wall of redeemable, like the I don't know what they called it, but that room where Scrooge or the Ghost of Christmas Present walked in and had all those statues of people who were redeemed. Did you notice any of the names?
I probably wasn't looking at the screen at that point in time.
Oh, I was trying to look at a lot of them, and when I was like, oh, I should pay attention, and I don't know why I didn't rewind. Just no second chances apparently for me, but I did notice Dolly Parton's name.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, so she was on there. I thought that was kind of funny.
I love that there was a dude who was among the new recruits who was like, when they found out that the afterlife was just a big musical.
Oh yeah, was that the same guy or a different guy than the one who kept asking about his internet history?
That was a different guy.
Different guy.
It was the dude who was later in the movie. He was a desk clerk.
Oh, okay.
I think he shouted, "We got a breach" or something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
He's just sitting at a desk.
That's right, yeah. I thought that was cool to show, like, that portion of where you start, because, like, you start as interns, kind of freshly new to death. It's not like this was your calling. Maybe that's how Marley started, you know? Who knows? Really don't know. Would have liked to know.
He's like, I want to haunt my friend. I need to find some other dudes who are down to do it with me.
100%, I bet that's actually how it started. I think it was more malicious than holy. Yeah, the whole idea though about this, I don't know the other word for it, but I know they kept saying like the haunting, or which gives it a more sinister name and I don't know ideal about it. But
well, I mean, when ghosts are appearing to you, aren't you getting haunted?
That's true. Why can't they just? I don't know, call it Operation Redemption Haunt. I don't know.
Probably because they didn't want it to be too Christmassy, because they still wanted to remain loyal to the roots of what the story was.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of recreating this showtime, and I'm using air quotes when I'm saying showtime. Just like Christmas night, like they spend. What I kept thinking is it's oddly close to just how the North Pole runs in general. Like, instead of Santa Claus, you have the ghosts, the three ghosts. Instead of elves, you have all these grunts and grips and runners and researchers and actors and set designers and whatnot. And then instead of the North Pole, you have wherever this purgatory of a place lands. I thought like the parallelism was really cool, because first scene opening, maybe not the first scene, no, not the first scene, sorry, the first scene where they're in the HQ is what I'm gonna call it. It gives me this feel of Tim Allen's Santa Claus when he goes to the North Pole, and they have like that round half circle or full circle desk, and then all the workstations. It gave me that same exact vibe with the set design. So like that's where that parallelism stems from for me. And I don't know, and then everyone's wearing like green and red, and I guess some people might have been wearing black. And I guess the whole idea is like it's Christmas themed because it's a Christmas carol.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, the parallelism was so funny because I personally don't really.
They didn't have a Bernard though.
No, that would have been great. Bernard was always my favorite character.
I think he was always everyone's favorite character.
I forgot about Bernard for a second.
Although the only line from the Santa Claus that I remember is when the kid goes, "And now pops a cookie." when him and I think it was him and Bernard modified the sleigh.
Yeah.
And then there's like a cookie and milk dispenser.
Oh my gosh. The hot cocoa machine.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the whole ordeal about the HQ is just phenomenal. They had like a separate room that looks like a crime scene investigation room for their research. And the whole idea of spending all year researching like the perp. What an interesting idea.
I thought it was cool that they were like, we got a set design.
Yeah.
Random stuff that happens. And
they have cues, and they call cues like it's like a theater production and a musical, which I love that concept.
Replay 163.
Are you sure that's a little unorthodox?
Right now.
And then, did you notice so before the numbers, it has like a letter sequence. Do you know what the letter sequence has to do with? It depends which ghost it is.
Oh,
so like
okay,
Christmas past moment was CPM, and then all his present ones didn't have P in it, but it had. I don't know what I had, but I remember like I noticed all the letters were the same, because in this movie, the Ghost of Christmas Past is she's in her element, and she's too attracted to the perpetrator, and somehow they both end up going to his childhood past bedroom and canoodling, and she comes back.
They don't show anything though.
No, this is completely.
It's PG-13.
Is that the actual rating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they say the F-bomb, don't they? At least once. They swear a lot in this movie.
I feel like something always happened before they swear. Like, they swear, but it's covered up. Like that gray veil. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a few times that they might have done that.
They definitely said the SH word.
See, I thought that's the one that they did the... Okay. Maybe not.
Or maybe the B... Well, they said the B word at least.
Yeah, but nowadays that's
Twice.
like okay to say, and I'm using air quotes again because it's a
socially acceptable in cinema.
Well, it's not that it's socially acceptable, it's that the meaning of it just means a female dog. So it's like, oh, it means something else.
Yeah, but it's still kind of insulting.
It is. It's 100% so insulting. But yeah, media is schmedia. So they were canoodling, and we didn't see it. And then the Ghost of Christmas Past comes back to the HQ because the Ghost of Christmas Present, our boy Will Ferrell here being Scrooge, was waiting. And he goes, "What are you doing here?" And she admits to what she's doing. And he's like, "So you left him in the past?" Which, how irresponsible. He's just alone with no chaperone in the past, just doing whatever. I mean, he didn't do whatever. He was just recollecting himself, I guess. So then...
he kissed his doll.
Did he?
I picked up a doll and he kissed it.
Oh.
It was like a dude doll. And I was like, I have no idea what that doll is, but it's kind of goofy.
All improv. I bet that was all Ryan's brain. Yeah, so then the Christmas Present goes to the past and has to pick up the past and present part of the production, I shall say. Which, good on him for doing that on the fly. I mean, he is so focused on the craft. Of course he knows every cue. Of course he knows every transition. I mean, he's on top of it. He is so obsessed with making sure that, and they call him seasons. For my recap, you know, he's had 46 successful seasons, so he's redeemed 46 people in, well, actually I don't know if it's how many people per season it is, because he's been dead for, what do you say, a couple hundred years?
Well, I mean, modern day to 18th century.
Yeah, so I don't know really how long each season is, you know?
Or 19th century, I guess.
Oh yeah, whatever it is.
1800s.
At least more than 5 decades, maybe 6.
I mean, I don't know when the book was written, because I assume that that's the setting that the Christmas Carol movies always go for, is like when the book was written.
1843. So yeah, I mean, like 150 years, depending on like what, I don't know what exactly timeline. It's definitely in the 2000s. This movie takes place with smartphones, so it's probably between 2010 and 2020, or even current time.
I think honestly it took place in 2022 when the movie came out.
Yeah, you're most likely right, because one of the things I did write down was, it was interesting how this is also very different from other Christmas Carol movies. Also not because it's a rebranded musical, because there are other musicals of this, but it adds social media. It's integrated so much, because going back to that Hall of Those Who Redeemed, in the center, it's like, oh, that's another parallelism with the North Pole and Santa Claus, is they always have this hub where they can see like the kids and who's misbehaving, like what's going on down on Earth in the world or whatever. So in that redeemed hall, they have that in the center, and it's like this mist or whatever, but then we see all these comments, these social media comments kind of float up. I guess it's a way for them to choose their perp. And that's also seen a lot in it shows up again just like randomly as an effect in front of Scrooge and Clint, just to like show him like what's happening or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But I thought like that was just an interesting way to introduce the whole idea of social media. I mean, yeah, it's current times. That's really what's affecting people. It's destroying people at times. I mean, just totally amazing in that sense.
I thought it was funny that they were using Twitter, just because future events hadn't happened yet, so it couldn't be X yet.
Yeah, it was weird to hear Twitter and not X.
After hearing X for like a year and a half now.
Yeah. Boy. I mean, and now they have like the people who refuse to use X, they've come up with Blue Sky as like a
separate app.
Yeah, that's supposed to be just like Twitter.
That's funny.
Yeah, people are trying to launch that, which some people are on, you know. So, you know, it takes community and time, you know. Twitter.
It's like someone missing Vine and creating TikTok.
Yeah, but remember, it went to Musical.ly first.
I don't remember that.
I mean, I remember that. Those were painful days. Musical.ly, it was like...
Were you a singer on Musical.ly?
No, people don't sing on Musical.ly. You lip sync,
oh,
and you do
so
sign
stupid.
language too sometimes, or like you do like... You'll see these still in people's TikToks where they'll have a music play and they're lip syncing, and they do like a skit with movement. That's what Musical.ly was. But a lot of the time it's like literally you would pick a song to show that how well you can lip sync, like you're acting, you're playing a role. And that was the whole point of it.
Oh. I would just sing and I'd be like, yeah, I'm the odd man out.
There you go. I mean, you could. I think there were some people who did that too. Yes, yeah, just I loved the idea. I'm so into theater, and I love that this was basically just a whole play within a play, because the whole interaction is treated like a fourth dimension play, or fifth dimension play. Like no plane can keep them down. I mean, it's in the ethereal plane basically of things will come out of nowhere, and you're still pretty current to the outside and inside world.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that. Love. And the musical numbers were great. I mean, musical numbers in general are meant to just put your words into feelings. Like obviously sometimes it's harder to actually say few words. You need to say a lot more. And I really felt the emotion in the numbers, that sometimes some musical numbers kind of lose that thought.
I'm trying to remember the one song that I did not appreciate. Can't remember which one it was. There was one where I was just like,
it was a good afternoon.
This one's kind of a turn off. No, that one was funny.
I like that one.
Just because of the fact that they did like my favorite dance move that always happens in these musicals, where they're just like hunched over and going,
Oh yeah.
they like sway their bodies back and forth. Like
Yeah.
you see it in they also do it in The Greatest Showman when they're doing This Is Me,
Oh,
and they're coming out of the
yeah.
alley. There's a couple of characters who are just going.
There was one that I didn't care for, and I can't remember which one it was either. But I bet it was just one of the odd ones that were in.
The tree one was funny when he was singing about how everyone likes a good old fir instead of a plastic tree.
Oh yeah, that one was
I
fun.
thought that was funny.
Yeah. I think it was one of the ones that were just in the HQ. I think
Yeah.
those ones were not meant to like show emotion per se, but it was just like, this is how it runs. I don't know.
I love that Marley's just not into musicals.
Yeah.
Like when President was trying to convince Marley to go with Clint, he was like, I could retire, and he like started singing, and Marley was like, no.
He
No.
could recognize it when he heard the ding of the musical number. Like in musical numbers, there's always like a piano key or just any type of musical note that signifies its transition to a musical number. And he's like, no, this isn't the time. And that happened, I think, 3 or 4 times throughout the whole film, and I was here.
It was so funny.
Time.
Then Marley was just like, nope. I will give you anything. We can do the unredeemable. I just don't want you to sing.
Oh, did you stay through the credits to hear, like, in that moment that you're talking about, where he's like, yeah, you can redeem or whatever, and he goes down the pool so he doesn't sing a song, but that song gets performed at the very end of the movie throughout the credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that should have been the one where, I thought that was the one where Jimmy Fallon was singing in too. But yeah, because he says that line, like, does anyone want to hear my song? And in the timeline of the movie, no one responds, and it flips to a new scene. But towards the end of the credits, that line gets said again, and then they do sing that song the rest of the way, and then they have, like, the dancing in the water, where he starts, like, saying, because it's, like, a reprise of all the songs, because then it starts talking about, like, being unredeemable, and then, like, what am I waiting for, and then yada, 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 and it has all that dancing in the water stuff. And then, in the very last part of that, the movie, they flipped the camera and they showed a bunch of the crew too. Because I saw.
Oh yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, like again breaking the fourth wall. But
and then the cameraman like flipped it on himself as like the final. Ah!
Yeah, and I thought, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, kind of takes you out of the moment of the surrealness of it, but I loved it.
Also, it was the end credits, so nobody really cares anyway.
Right, like who's really gonna stick around for it? I did. I stuck around.
Plus, this movie came out like nearing the end of when the COVID lockdown was. So.
True, yeah, it probably was finished filmed probably by late 2021, if not early 2022.
Yeah.
I don't remember what month it was. This was released, but I'm pretty sure it would have been closer to Christmas. I mean, I would hope it would release a Christmas movie, not around Christmas time, right?
Yeah,
Unless
exactly.
if it was July, because Christmas in July.
Yeah, that's a common theme.
I thought it was also just cool to, I mean, back to the thing I was talking about, media making things current. They also would talk about a lot of real world references and current events. Sometimes movies really play into the fictional of everything, but this really tied down into referencing real actors that we know in this timeline, real events, real, just everything. I mean, we had, location, I don't remember the locations, but then like the areas were memorable. I mean, obviously there was the entourage to talking about Dolly Parton, but then there was a few other actors named, and then we have Jimmy Fallon in there. It was just kind of cool to see those current themes.
Oh yeah, especially in a movie like this where typically they're like, we want to make as much references to the old stuff as we possibly can,
Right.
which is neat, but at the same time we're like, it's kind of cool that it's a modern take on this rather than a thing we've seen over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I like I was saying way before, I mean, it's like Scrooge is part of this now, and even though we would go back to the original Christmas Carol and just these ghosts were haunting, but we never knew it was just like organization. So to expand on that, I guess kind of like a spin-off, or I don't know, an after story, an epilogue. It's just really cool, a really awesome concept. we were talking about the Good Afternoon musical number, which was really good, but just when Ryan was doing a British accent, it wasn't terrible, but it was terrible, you know?
I think it was like terrible on purpose, though.
Yeah, no, like terribly offensive almost, but at the same time it was great. Like there wasn't any way where he like messed up, I guess, in the way he was speaking. But it's awesome how our voices change when we do an accent. Sometimes we'll hit octaves and notes that we wouldn't be able to hit just speaking normally. But yeah, you put on a different accent, all of a sudden you're a new person.
I also love that he was just like, "Good afternoon," and then a bar fight just immediately started.
Yeah, I loved the seed that was planted with that, because then for the whole other half of the movie, there was a point where I thought, oh, the movie's probably gonna wrap up soon. I realized I had an hour and a half left, because I think this movie was 2.5 hours or 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah, so I guess within the 30 minutes I felt like I had a good full story almost. I didn't even hit the actual conflict, but I was realizing that, yeah, there's so much more left. So when I think that was the Good Afternoon scene was about 30 minutes in, or maybe 45. But then later there was just be moments where Good Afternoon said, like, whether it's to Marley, which of course Marley knows that that's offensive because he's from the same time period. So they have like, what? Oh, I don't know what that was.
Good
And then he says in a high pitch, "Good afternoon," and he stomps back. He's like, "I heard that too. Oh my goodness." And then later when they're in that taxi,
yeah,
"Good afternoon," or the
what did you think?
You're supposed to be like that now.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Or, I mean, man, it's kind of terrible of Clint to, well, maybe I guess he freed him. I guess this movie kind of jumps on the idea that, like, not everyone's going to be, I guess, redeemable, right? Not everyone's going to be a great person. Sometimes we have our poor moments, which I guess was really highlighted when he goes to see him at the end and he's getting frustrated, which, you know, that was probably, I don't know, I felt like after all those years, because it felt like it had to have been at least 5 years later.
Well, I mean, he had 2 kids that were basically 7.
Okay, 7 years later then.
6 or 7.
Oh no.
I don't know. They looked old. They were old enough to talk to each other in structured sentences.
I feel like you're probably right. I think they're like 8. Well, so many years later. And he like still has these angry tendencies, but I felt like it was too, I don't know, it's not that it was triggering for me, but more that I wish there was a more healthy way that he probably like had his anger. But I liked the idea in general that it was trying to give, that we're not going to be 100% perfect. Like, sure, you know, people might say everyone can change, but like certain things are a part of us, or certain ideals are a part of us. Like Clint didn't fully change, but a part of him did, not the part that other people were hoping that he would change. He's not like, he's still a businessman or whatever, you know. It's like some people could argue being a businessman is bad, but you know, he turned into a better businessman, with, you know, being Christmas present later in the movie, which I thought was awesome. How'd you feel about him dying though?
That was rough.
Yeah, did not expect it.
It kind of was cool because I think that even though it was the most probably, you know, story stuff, what's the pinnacle of a story?
Oh, the climax?
Yeah, that one. Even though the unredeemable part was probably the climax of this story, it was probably one of my least favorite songs of the film.
Forever Unredeemable?
Yeah.
That was your least favorite?
No, it was one of them.
One of them?
I was just
liked it.
I don't know.
His pain.
The thing is like, I like the way that they introduced it though, with Clint being like, how long until you died after you changed? And he was like, oh, about 3.5 weeks. He's like, 3.5 weeks? Anyone can be good for 3.5 weeks. How can you tell that it worked?
Right.
And then he just like,
that was
basically like passes out and is like, he doesn't pass out, but he looks like he's on the edge of just going, you just shattered my world.
Yeah, honestly. Which he already had that deep integrated into him, like that feeling. So it's not that like Clint.
It's like, what if I regress to the person that I was? Did I really change?
But he was that hair.
And I mean, at the same, I love that it was like I have a love-hate relationship with their ideals about the like blip. What is it? What do they call it? The blips. The The ripples. There you
Oh,
go.
the ripples. I was not following you for a second.
They call them ripples, where it was like one person changes and then something good happens from that, and it, like how many people it affects is like their ripple or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that as a concept, because we never know who we're going to affect in our lives. Like, I could be walking past a random stranger. Like, this is just an example, by the way. This is not like anything that has happened to me before, or I don't know if it ever will, but I could be walking past a random stranger and they're just like debating taking a course of action that their life might just end later that day. And then I say hi to them, and then they're like, I was looking for a sign that someone cared, and some random dude just said hi to me.
Right.
Maybe there's more to living than I thought.
Honestly,
and so it's like, you never know the type of effect you will have on someone.
Honestly, I think that ideal is a staple of just human nature too. Some people won't agree to that, like, no, I have no effect, but honestly, you're right. Literally anything could change someone's mind, and it's like, if we all make a commitment to just change one person's mind or make one person's day better, who knows, maybe 5 people are going to affect the same one person, and that's going to boost them up. Think of it like a video game, and you get all these like levels to or this XP to level up, you know, like you're leveling up their morale to make them a better person. We're each helping each other to make ourselves a better person. And yeah, one of the notes that Clint talks about is like, you're not going to cause a ripple. Everyone's going to be just keep getting worse and worse and worse. But if we stop trying to change people, then obviously it's going to get more worse. But if we keep trying to change people, we're going to slowly shave that off. Yeah, there's a lot of setbacks. It's like a war where we're playing tug of war, and we're just barely going on each side of the line. Maybe the bad is going a little bit more, but if we just give up, I mean, it's like we just let the rope go and let them win, you know. And showing that you're willing to fight for something that's right, for something that's good, is enough to convince other people to try too. And that's that whole ideal. So I love that concept of how he's like, no, I'm gonna keep trying. Like, I can change you. And it's sure, maybe his reasoning for changing him was more personal and selfish, but I mean, it's still at the same ideals. Like, it's important. It doesn't matter who they are, they're still redeemable.
I thought that was an interesting point that kind of worked for Clint's change, is that he was kind of a grade A D-bag the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, that was like what it showcased at the beginning. He's like, I don't care about these people. I don't care what happens to them. I just care about winning. And then at the end, he was talking to President, and he was like, people don't change. That's just the way it is. I'm going to go back to work on Monday, and I'm going to be like, well, this is my job. I'm just going to be the man that I am, you know? And then President almost gets hit by a bus, and Clint pushes him out of the way.
I mean, honestly, that being the reason why he's redeemable kind of made me upset. Because sure, yeah, he saved someone's life. He did a selfless act. Sure. But he also did a selfless act when he wanted to help his niece. It had nothing to do with him. He would not have been affected if she made that decision either way. And like, he didn't want her to be affected, her to go through this turmoil, didn't want that little boy to go through the turmoil. So for him just like sacrificing himself, I don't know, it just felt a little odd, especially for the whole idea of the fact that, yeah, we think he's a hard-boiled egg throughout the whole movie, but you do see points where his ideals do change. And we learn the reason why he feels like no one changes is because of his childhood trauma, and no one like really, I mean, he tried, like, his research, Presence's research did focus more on that, like, yeah, we're gonna focus on your past here of like, this is what your mom did. Your mom was someone who never changed, and you learn at a young age that, yeah, people never change, this is how it's gonna be. But it never like nurtured that, and it never like went through the idea. The effect was supposed to show, I guess, like other people, the show that you're just like your parent or something like that. Usually people don't want that, right? His approach wasn't like that, because I don't know if he really cared about that, but more of he needed an inner child to heal. And that was attempted to be healed through his sister. And obviously, it's not that nobody can change. He knew that people could change, but he refused. That's why he walked out on his sister when she was in the hospital to not have that conversation. He couldn't handle that. And there was like a lot of trauma, like beautiful, terrible, but beautiful trauma to nurture there, that for his selfless act to just be to sacrifice himself, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it fit.
Well, think about it this way. Raising a kid is one of the biggest self-sacrifices that we could give in reality, because we're trying to teach a generation to fix the world that might have been broken in ours.
Right.
And so him adopting Ren in that moment might have been that ripple moment that he needed to quote unquote change from the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
But then it didn't happen because he was afraid of that responsibility that came with raising her, which is why he ended up just, I don't know, taking care of her from the sidelines, because Owen was a more poor guy. Because, I mean, he mentions it in the movie. He's like, when Owen invites him to go ice skating or something, he's like, oh, that's fine, I'm paying for it anyway.
Yeah. Well, like, that's the point I make. Like, yeah, he's doing it from the sidelines. He was too scared to make that attempt. Probably didn't want to be like his mother. So it would have made perfect sense for his redeemable moment to be stepping up to make her not post that. But it would have been, I think, the idea of it being more redeemable to be solidified was if he had a conversation with her to explain like why these actions were wrong. Not that she actually needed that conversation, but he needed that like parenting moment or whatnot. I think that would have been the better thing.
But at the same time, it's like that redeemable moment for him in that moment was stolen by Kimberly, because she felt guilty about finding the dirt and then went and talked to Ren on her own. And so he hadn't, quote unquote, changed in that moment, you know?
Which was all Present's fault, because if he hadn't fallen in love with Kimberly, she probably wouldn't have been influenced to make those decisions. That's it. He ruined it all. He Scrooged it.
But then he brought it back at the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm just gonna... That was intense, though. I was like, okay, this can't be too bad. And then he's like, I need to go back. And he steps in front of a bus. And I'm like, whoa! Whoa! This is not the way to do it, man.
It's quick and to the point. Going back to the very first scene where Karen got hit with the puck. What they were playing?
They were playing street hockey,
yeah.
So it was either a ball or a puck.
Oh no, it was like a little round red ball. That was
yeah,
weird.
It must have been like a rubber ball. Well, it might have been the same one that they use in lacrosse, just so that like it does less damage than
Probably.
A puck.
True.
Or like
True.
A similar one.
Yeah.
Or like a racquetball ball.
Yeah, when like the snowflakes paused, the whole world paused, she moved, and then when she was like having this nice I've been redeemed moment, and then it freezes or unfreezes and she gets hit with the ball. I did like the full circle moment where at the very end that same concept happens as he gets hit with the bus. They did their musical number. Yeah, and then he gets hit with the bus. I mean, terrible as it was pretty funny. I mean, he did fly crazy.
Oh yeah, he flew into the back of a truck.
And it was, I was thrown off for a minute because I was like, how did he survive? Because he sits up and then he looks at his dead body. He's like, oh, give me CPR or something. And then Marley is like, there's nothing to blow into.
CPR ain't gonna fix that.
Yeah, there's nothing to blow into. But yeah, the line he says after that I think was pretty impactful. Like, your actions aren't going to mean anything without the consequences.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which, I mean, going back to the whole theme, I guess, would be that you have an impact on the world whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, with my experiences with therapy, not many people think, like, when we want to have a conversation with someone, like, obviously if you feel victimized by someone's actions, you think they're mad at you, you think they hate you, you might not know that the other person doesn't understand their impact. Like, they might not think that they're weaponizing their words against you. They might think they're being defensive. So thinking about this whole idea of just mean people or bullies or whatnot, or just anyone who gives you a rough time, they might not actually know that their impact. So going the whole idea of we should focus on a greater impact than a worser is awesome. Which I think he realized, like, from Marley's words. That's why he didn't want to go with his sister. And he's like, no, I have a greater impact to make.
Yep, there's more I need to do. And I love that too, because it really spoke to his character. Because I mean, in the reality of it, after dying, he could have just gone to the light. But then I feel like adding to the fact that he had changed was him going, you know what, I'll just come and work for Marley.
Yeah.
And just be the ghost of Christmas present. And get my sister a job too, apparently.
Right, yeah. I mean, all of a sudden everything's smooth. And apparently he is in a relationship with Christmas Past, which I don't know if she still works as Past. She was at her own desk. I don't know.
I mean, she might have been editing stuff.
True, but...
Because, I mean, she was on the line with Present during the thing.
Oh, true, yeah, they're on, like, a phone call.
So everyone else must be, like, research interns, and then the 3 ghosts are, like, the ones who give each other...
The main actors.
Help. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, what a transformative process, too, because in the beginning, Past talks about, like, you know how long it's been since I've, you know, done this and done that, making it seem it's impossible to have any sort of type of relationship in this afterlife. But yet, there is a relationship. They do live together. There's, like, a possibility of anything. And then they also expand on the fact that kind of going back with the parallelism of Santa Claus, of just, you can make, you're in the ethereal plane, we get a little bit when we talk about the original Christmas Present allowing Kimberly to see him just because he was longing for her, making that more of a reality where you can make anyone see you or hear you, when he comes back to see Scrooge in his new life, kind of seek help on that profile.
Oh yeah, I like their quote unquote retirement plans.
Yeah.
About how they were able to just like get a second chance at living.
I thought they were going to start over though from
birth. I was like, thank goodness he wasn't a baby. I would have been so mad.
Yeah, that would have been pretty funny. Which my idea.
It would have been funny, but I was just like, no. If you fall in love with someone and then all of a sudden you're a baby, that would be so bad.
Which I like. That's always been my ideas of like redemption. Reliving your life, reincarnations. You would like start over from scratch. But yeah, I do like this concept where you've gotten used to this world, even though ideally as a worker there, you want to be getting used to the world. You are researching how the world works for these clients and staying up at the time. So I guess so. But yeah, it's kind of like. I mean, I guess it's more related to the idea of retirement, I guess, because, normal people, when they retire, they don't go back to the beginning. I mean, technically, some old people, when they retire, they go into diapers, but that's not the same thing that I'm talking about. But,
dude, you and I, my brain went a completely different direction.
Oh, no. But yeah, it was really nice. I like the watch, like the whole idea, like that was the thing. Also, a parallelism to like Santa Claus is like there's a stopwatch always that's magical or some sort. And then that is here. I could write a whole paper about the parallelism between Christmas, Santa Claus, and this.
I like the idea that it was also one of the things that was the retirement plan. Like, because if you think about it, right, that was what, I don't know if it's talked about at all in the book, but in all the Christmas carols, like one of the major things that Scrooge always has on him is a stopwatch.
Oh.
And so I think about that.
You think it was a personal item?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like, this is your time. Like, again, calling back to the first haunt, where it was like, you're retiring from who you were and becoming a new person. I love that he photoshopped Kimberly into a picture with him.
Oh,
yeah. As he was like looking at the board, he was like, man, you have a lot of, as Clint was looking at the board, he was like, you have a lot of pictures of my secretary on your wall. Wait, did you Photoshop yourself into this one?
Yeah, because he was originally going to play it off like, yeah, it's all research. He's like, no, I don't think this is.
Yeah.
Oh, and like how he has to be new to this whole dating scene because, again, it's from the 1800s. Their dating scene was basically they'll make a snap comment about the woman and then maybe they'll get married.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. There's none of this like in between. Especially on their first date, he thinks they went terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It went quite wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. I also loved that one of the, I don't know if you caught this, but you probably did. One of the dudes was at the party was dressed up as Buddy the Elf.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, that's horrible. That's ugly. It's disgusting. And I was just like, clever.
Yeah, there were a few costume call-outs I remember from looking at fun facts, but I didn't want to talk about them. They were too boring for me. But the elf one,
there was a Scrooge one as well.
Yep. The Buddy one was really nice because I hate that movie with a burning passion. So for Will Ferrell to be like, he looks so stupid, I'm like, yes, you hate it too.
Oh yeah, it was funny. And then Clint, like during Future's part, Clint kind of was just like, oh no, I know where this is going. And then he just like ran off and just started running. And then they're like, he's running ahead. And then he gets to his grave and he's just standing there looking at it. And then Future comes running in and he's like,
like, why don't you take the shortcuts, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah, and that seems to be a constant theme for Clint too. He just always runs away. He doesn't like face what's happening, which again should have been part of his redeemable moment. Just saying.
Which is interesting because when he was a kid, he like went out and just looked for the fake dog.
Yeah.
Which is like more facing than running away from.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Plot twist.
Yeah. And I love that Future said the line he wanted to say. He was just like struggling to talk, and then all of a sudden he went, "You made my friend retire! I hate you!" And then he like grabs his nutsack and like picks him up and throws him onto the ground and goes, "You've been Carol, B-word."
Yeah. I thought he said Scrooged. I don't know, maybe he did say Carol, yeah, you're right.
Because he brought it up to present and he was like, I just think I should say something, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
I think I should be
I want to try these catchphrases.
like an ending line. I need to say something.
Do you know there was two people who played, what's technically his name?
Future? The Ghost of Christmas Future?
Of What's to Come, I think is the technical.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Ghost of What's to Come or whatever. There's technically two actors who played him because Tracy was the voice, but either unless if it was a stunt double, but they had someone that because Tracy's not that tall.
No, he is not.
But they had someone who was drastically tall play him for the height, but not for the voice, and I thought that was just odd. Like I don't know if he's not moving, just put a stepladder or something like inside the draping of the dress. Like I don't know, like. There's such a weird concept. I don't think there's anything needed for a stunt double too, so I guess that theory goes out the door. But I remember seeing
unless he was on stilts, because that's always a possibility.
Well, then why are there two people dressed the same?
That's true. At the credits.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird.
And then I also wrote the president getting mad at a cab driver for saying good afternoon.
Yeah.
You mother! And then he like pulled him out of the.
It doesn't mean that here.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Hey, that's more of Clint having to face his consequences.
That was probably my favorite joke in the entire movie.
Yeah, honestly, it was a great song. I thought it was really funny. Like, hey, just let loose a bit. Just be a little bit of yourself. You want to say it. And then he's, like, holding it back, like, almost holding his breath, like, nope, I'm not going to say it. And then he's like, this guy deserves it, because the horse carriage guy or whatever was really mean. And then he says one more rude comment, and they both go, good afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
That was really, really awesome.
I also, like, my favorite part of this movie was the conversation that President had with Clint in the hospital, like, the second time that they went there.
Yeah.
Where he was like, dude, you'll never know if you've changed unless you retire right now. You retire right now, you get your life back, and you find out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just I don't know if he actually said this, but he was just like, it seemed like the mood where he was just like, sometimes it's just a daily thing.
Yeah.
You have to just find out if it's something that's happened or if you didn't change. You just got to figure it out.
Right. It's like that whole idea that you, quote unquote, being someone who's changed is not some big event or not some quarter or annually thing you look at, but you make choices every day. They could be small ones, but that's like small moments of, did I change? Like, you could make a decision one day and a week later you realize that, oh gosh, that was terrible, and you do that change. And even
relapse happens.
Yeah, no matter how small it is, like going back to that idea of impact, is a small choice or a big choice could have the same impact, or a big choice could have no impact and the small one has the greater one. But we're making those moments, those redeemable moments, each and every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which is part of the reason why I wished the word relapse wasn't so much associated with addiction nowadays.
Right.
Because we can relapse from any sort of thing.
Exactly.
I also wanted to like throw this out there, just because for some weird reason we always go into like social stuff. One thing that I've always, well, not always, but since graduating high school and starting to think about it more, one thing I really realized is that it's okay to feel all the emotions that we feel.
Mm-hmm.
That we're gonna get angry sometimes, we're gonna get sad sometimes, we're gonna get happy, we're gonna get everything in between, we're gonna get disgusted. It's okay to feel, and this is part of the reason why I like Inside Out so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is because it's okay to feel all these emotions. And like, there's so many people who have trouble with dialing back their anger,
mm-hmm.
who just try to shut it off completely. And I'm like, well, it's important to feel frustrated sometimes, because sometimes there are situations where you're just like, wow, that makes me mad. You know, you can react to it, or you can just be like, I'm mad, but I'm not going to react. It's not, and it's okay to cry. I think that it's just important to feel all of your emotions, and to not necessarily explode, because there's a point that we all know where certain emotions become over, like they become like a cup. You have all these emotions in a cup as like a liquid, and then sometimes it spills over. We know what it looks like when rage, like, and ultimate fear and all this other stuff kind of spill out of the cup,
because we bottle it up.
Yeah. And so it's like, if you're circulating it and like making it so that you're feeling all this stuff and you're acknowledging that you feel this way, then you're not going to have like a situation where you could be like, whoa!
Right.
You know?
I mean, yeah, going off of that analogy, take your emotions one step at a time.
And that's exactly what I like about that conversation, where Clint is just like, hey, you never know. And then Scrooge just goes, what if I Scrooge out, you know? Yeah. He doesn't actually say Scrooge out. That's a term that I coined right now, but I thought that was like a very cool thing for Clint, someone who's like constantly finding weaknesses in whoever, just so that he can start a beef.
Mm-hmm.
To say to someone who's feeling weak. I was like, wow, that's really powerful, to be like, listen, man, sometimes it happens.
Right.
We never know. We got to find out sometimes.
Yeah. That's a really beautiful message.
Oh, yeah. That was like the reason why I had to make this a higher rating on this movie.
Oh, yeah? Well, before we get to that, who's your favorite character?
So I wrote Kazuko. Yeah, I was going to say, she's going to have no idea who I'm talking about. There's this Japanese woman who like stands up and starts talking to Marley in Japanese at the beginning. And he's like, oh, thank you, Kazuko. And I was like, oh, that was when I noticed that like it isn't just one nation that is a part of this thing, because, you know, someone from France typically too. They throw, and later in the movie, it was nice to see that like people who spoke different languages from different countries, representation. Yeah, there you go. Were represented in this, whereas most of the time it's just like one specific.
The term is whitewashed.
I hate that. I don't want to say that.
That's an appropriate term, because it's about getting down on.
Because I mean, it's in a way it's easier to get actors in your own country who speak your own language and do all this other stuff. I mean, I think the Kazuko actress also could speak English, but it was like nice to be like, okay, cool. She probably has Japanese roots and is able to speak that language again with the French person as well. And so that was why I liked Kazuko so much. No idea what she said, but I was like,
No,
that's
the
cool.
subtitles?
I did, but it didn't throw anything out there.
Oh, I think mine did,
Oh,
but I didn't pay attention. Yeah, it gives us this idea that like the Christmas Carol is not just a one region. They're assessing perpetrators from all over. Ideally, if they have their part of their crew is of different representations.
oh yeah, and I'm sure that they do a sort of thing where they can haunt people. Because I mean, they were talking about at the end. Clint was like, "We've got a meeting, and we're gonna talk about." And Marley's like, "We can't handle all these things," and he's like, "Let me tell you about Kwanzaa and Hanukkah."
Oh yeah,
ghosts."
yeah,
And I
that's
was
right.
like, okay, so they're representing different religions as well, and that's kind of cool.
That was pretty cool of him. He's using like his business tactics for the greater good instead of the not so great.
Yeah, the beefs on the internet.
That's why Mr. Briggs is my favorite character.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I like, because I myself like to be a pain in the arse to people. I like to push people's buttons, especially if they're so set on making this one goal. My brain's like, how can I be devious about this?
Oh, sheesh.
I'm a terrible person for that, but not as drastic as Mr. Briggs. Like if someone wants to, I don't know, I just like being stubborn, I guess. In like a calm way, you know, or if someone's trying to razz me, I manage to be the top raspberry and get them back.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know, but
sheesh.
I don't know, but that's why he's my favorite character, because he's well, in general, I feel like it's a birthright or of Ryan Reynolds. Well, not a birthright, but like being like if Ryan Reynolds
Like a
is
staple?
a staple, I guess. If Ryan Reynolds is in a film, his character is most likely going to be my favorite. But
That's
I
fair.
also feel for his trauma too, and this movie was pretty intense with its themes. Pretty bold choice.
Oh, yeah.
Probably was why it wasn't in actual theaters and it was only in the realm of
Like went to streaming or something.
Yeah, it's produced by Apple TV.
Oh, yeah.
So not a sponsor, by the way, but you gotta say those things. Yeah, that these intense themes were there. It was just nice to see that, I guess. I mean, probably the same reason why I like The Voices, but that it stems off that trauma. Just going more on why I'm so interested in psychology and the way the brain works. It's just, that's why I always have a problem with how certain things go, because the redemption doesn't match with his trauma, like where the building blocks, you know, it just doesn't line up with the psychology aspects of it. But no, I appreciate his character. I mean, especially with, like I said, in the end, of wanting to help run the show and make it even greater. I think that's awesome.
I wrote Gary the Light Guy. Just because during one of the musicals, I don't. It might even be when he's trying to set up a musical and Marley is like, "Stop." President calls out to Gary, and Gary like turns the light to put it on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah. And the reason why I like Gary is because of the fact that I don't feel like enough behind the scenes people get the credit for how much work they actually put into a production.
Oh, 100%.
Like going back to the graduation from a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
there was a niche. Is that the right word for it?
I also want to say microphone malfunction, but
Oh, malfunction. There you go.
Yeah.
In the system, and the microphone wasn't on for like 5 minutes.
Painfully so.
And one of the tech dudes came and fixed it. And everyone was cheering that it got fixed, but I was cheering for the mic guy, because nobody ever really sees the background stuff. They only see what's on the stage.
Right.
And so it's kind of cool to like get a shout out to cast members, or to like background members who feel like they're in the background, but they work really, really hard to make a movie work.
Especially for the fact that, taking the graduation example, there could have been a lot of people who were pissed off. Like, why aren't the microphones working? Like, whose job was this that they messed up on? And it's never like a matter of that. Like, get away from the anger about it, you know? Like, sure, you have the right to be angry, but like, like, not like this. Like, this isn't a moment to be angry. Like, so what if we're taking a moment to pause? Maybe everyone needed a moment to pause, to reflect, to take in the scene, you know, because it's really overwhelming. And it was a little funny too, because then both microphones were on. They had a wireless one and a wired one, or like not a wired one, but like the little tiny ones they used for guest speaking, and then they had a handheld one, and they both got turned on, and they were too close to each other, which was a funny moment.
Oh yeah.
And then we even had that moment where the speaker was talking about how they were about to start dancing on stage to kind of fill in the void, and that was a great, funny, like, interloped moment.
Oh yeah, exactly. I love Ren. Because she's such a sweetheart. Yeah. The niece. She's such a sweetheart and is a good person, and like I found that out even after like one of my favorite scenes from this movie is just the hospital scene in general. One, because they played it twice, and two, because it had such an emotional impact on the film.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things that happened in that scene was when Ren was like, "Can I donate this, Mom?" And she's like, "Sure, honey." And then Briggs just goes, "Cool, why not even bother wrapping it? Glad I bothered to wrap it."
Honestly though, given his character, I doubt he wrapped it. I bet he made Kimberly wrap it or something. I just feel like that's in the realm of his characteristics.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to know what it was. You know, like, what did he think that his niece needed in that moment?
Like a 5-year-old girl would want.
Yeah, like when his brain speaks, oh yeah, this was what she needs. You know, maybe it was like an iPad mini or iPod mini or something, you know?
Oh,
I can see like the rich uncle doing that. Like, oh yeah, it's the new fad. But given the timeline, it probably was an iPod mini. It was probably, I don't know.
Probably just an iPod. An iPod shuffle.
I feel like iPod shuffles were still, by that point, because this would have been like 2010s decade era, probably even 2015-ish.
Yeah, because she's a teenager and
yeah, maybe it was a phone. Maybe it was just a new phone.
Yeah.
It was a small box.
Something.
Yeah, something digital, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Ren was cool. I liked her.
I like her nickname, Rennie.
Oh,
which I guess isn't. What are they? It's not a nickname. What do they call it when the nickname's actually longer? It's got a special. Oh, I'm sorry. It's got a special name, and bringing it back to Smosh, one of the cast members, Shane, actually does that for people. It's a longer name for the person, but it's like, I don't know. It's not a nickname. It's like a pseudonym. I don't know. It's not a pseudonym. That was wrong. But yeah, Rennie is one of those. I think it's cute.
I also liked Owen.
Yeah, Owen was a good character.
Just because for his flaws, he was willing to do what Clint wasn't.
I was sad we didn't really get a flashback. I know he's the younger brother, but even the flashback with the puppy, Owen wasn't really, I guess, alive during that. And I feel like he would have been, even if he was just a baby. And of course, we get the flashback with his old girlfriend, but I don't know, I forgot about Owen for a large point of the movie until he just was there. I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah. I wish that it was, like, we could have seen what Clint would have been like if he had decided to adopt Ren. Right. Like, if they did, like, a split timeline thing where it's like, here's what you could have been, but here's what you actually are. Which,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did that in at least the Muppets Christmas Carol. They showed, like, an alternate timeline, or maybe...
I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie, I don't remember.
Maybe it was, like... I guess for the future, they, of course, show the horrible timeline, like, this is what you're on track of. But yeah, it would have been cool to... think about the emotion it could loosen up in them. I mean, what did Present talk about? The kicker or whatever? Like, that's what that would have been. I mean, if you showed the alternate timeline of, like, oh, if you would have raised her, that probably would have been a different type of kicker too.
Yeah,
that would have been cool though.
I really liked Owen though. I liked that he was willing to teach Ren good morals and keep her kind of on the right. Yeah, even when her uncle, who was supposed to help her, gave her terrible advice.
Right, because he seems like such a passive guy that gets pushed around a lot. but like doesn't care that he gets pushed around. And for him to just stand up and be like, no, this is wrong. And Owen is such a perfect name for him. Such a fun, loving name for his like character. If he was named like Orlando or something like that, it wouldn't have fit as much as Owen does.
No,
I like
he
that
looks
Owen.
nothing like a pirate.
Orlando Bloom did not play a pirate at first.
I know. He was an elf. My final favorite character was Kimberly.
Oh,
I had to give a shout out to her because she was one of those who was just stuck in a situation where she was like, oh, I don't want to work here, but I'm going to work here, so I'm going to be a D-bag to the kid, and yeah, I dig up dirt on the kid and tell my boss about it, because that's what I do.
What a lost soul, too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was great. And then Present marrying her, I was like, okay, kind of saw that coming, but at the same time, I was just like, huh, can't believe they actually went through with it. Nice.
Well, I feel like when you get to a certain age, like when we're younger in our 20s, of course, we think, oh, we're gonna, which is the smart thing to do, not to just go out and get married. You want to like build the relationship or whatnot. I feel like when you get older, you still do that, but you know that your clock is running out, or you already know what to look for because you have all that experience. And when you feel that it's right, you just go. I mean, my high school, my senior year, my high school math teacher, she ended up running away to Vegas to get hitched with a guy that she knew for a month.
Oh.
And hey, she was happy ever since then. I mean, her husband had died like many years before, and she even decided to go into early retirement. And her favorite line, because she decided to do that before the school year ended. And since it was a retirement, our math final was to watch Moana, and this was
nice.
And she kept saying, "What are they gonna do? Fire me?" And I just love that woman for that. She just took charge of her own life, and I feel like she felt like she was young again, you know?
Yeah.
So when you get older, if you get that spark, just go for it. And those two definitely went for it. You know, they got married. Somehow they had kids, which I felt like their age currently made it seem like maybe that wouldn't be so logical. But I don't know. I don't know what age that they're, well, obviously Present's like almost 100 or over 100 years old, but the whole idea,
more like almost over 200 years
yeah
old.
Just about 200 years old, but
because he does mention centuries in the plural.
Yeah, that's true. And like Kimberly has to be probably in her 40s, which I know people do have children at that age, but it's such a, like, I don't know.
It's a miracle. Let's just put it like that.
I guess it is a miracle. That's true.
My hated choices made and my what would I change is the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Past sleeping with Clint.
Yeah, it was a unprofessional thing. That's why I was thinking that she wasn't going to still be the past, because that was irresponsible to do it. I mean, Marley made a huge deal about how important it is that they're not gonna like blow a whole year, which then I don't know, I wonder what the consequence would be if they did, which they almost did. But like, it's so important. Why didn't, I mean, if Marley is so in tune with what's happening that he calls present out on his crap, why didn't he call out past? Like, what were her repercussions? So yeah,
she probably got benched for a little bit. Well, the only reason why I didn't like that so much is because that was the part where I realized that I had seen the movie before.
How could you?
Because they were when he was doing his jig when Clint was doing his jig during his song during the Christmas tree thing, and she was like, "Wow, he's so hot." I was like, "Oh, she's gonna sleep with him. They're gonna sleep together." And then I don't know why I had this like thought of them waking up in the same bed, and then she slept with him, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen this movie before. I just didn't remember anything else about it." And then her popping up and going, "Wow, he's hot." I was like, wait. I've seen this movie before. Oh no! But I didn't remember anything else about the movie except for the fact that Past slept with Clint at some point in time.
Who knows? Maybe you shut it off after that. You're like, not the movie for me.
No, I watched the whole thing.
No, I meant like the first time.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Because, like, there was a Ryan Reynolds kick at some point in time where me and my family and friends would just watch the Ryan Reynolds movies no matter what they were. And so I remember watching this, and then I was just like, Yeah, not starting that in the long term. Because the first time I watched it, I didn't like it. I was like, wow. That, like, it was one of those movies where you walk out of it and you're like, that was a waste of 2 hours.
That's fair. I mean, we do have a lot of that talk when we reflect on the ratings we give movies. We usually end up saying, well, now that we're talking about it, I'm giving it a much higher rating, but we always have an idea of a lower rating after we first watch it. And then the whole idea of like letting it digest, talking with a friend about it kind of helps us open our mind to, wow, there's more layers here that we didn't think about at first. Because I fully get that. I definitely had an idea for a lower rating, but I adjusted it last minute.
I liked it this time though.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The parts, I had two things that, I mean, there are things that I'm really passionate about not liking, and then there's some things that I thought were bold, not in a negative way, I guess. Like, sure, it's nice to see these themes pop up, but
you wouldn't do it if you were a director.
I mean, I'm morbid. I'm fully morbid, so maybe my movies would.
Oh.
But I just thought it was intense. A great impact, okay? Great impact, especially with the idea of social media. I think you can't have social media without themes of youth suicide, you know? But I thought it was bold when they had that in there. I had to look up from my computer of taking notes and be like, whoa, I was not prepared for this. I mean, sure, I guess if you think about it, in the original Christmas Carol, Tiny Tim dies. Mm-hmm. And not by suicide, he just dies. So I guess it's still following that ideal in a sense, but
because he's already sick, so he has a weakened immune system.
Yeah, and so you were able to digest that reality, but this was just bam,
right there.
Gosh, and we see it a lot too. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that sometimes they even kill people, decide to take their own lives for far less.
Yeah, and it honestly has to all do with social media too, and the damaging properties of that. So that's why when I was talking about, it was nice to see these themes of social media and the negativity, because it was kind of touching base on the fact that it's the social media that's poisoning, especially when Clint's like trying to boost this idea of Twitter and how like he's using that in his like aggressive agenda for the worse. So it's awesome with those hidden themes, but man, I mean, it's not that I hated it, but boy, it was very current and to the point of effect, just so intense, not expected. I guess a great page turner, but dang. The other thing that I didn't really like and that I would definitely change about the movie is while I was looking at fun facts, I noticed, I guess that makes sense, sure, but the very ending cemetery scene when Clint Briggs is going and he sees his grave and they're all digital, right?
Yeah.
The future, it's gonna have digital headstones. Yeah. All those faces are AI generated. All of the faces, yeah. Not a single actual person designed just those faces, which I thought was just unbelievable. In the career aspect of my life, definitely my philosophy stems off of not utilizing AI too much, especially not for the younger generation or like promoting it. But I feel like in this production, I don't know, just you go through a whole production just to like, oh yeah, let's just make all the faces AI. Like why not just, obviously other people have just made faces. You could just make faces and do like these details and like just repeat the faces and change like, well, give it longer hair or change eyebrows or whatnot. Like you don't have to be super fancy about it because obviously you can't see a lot. But there are so many that, I don't know, just, it was just awful to read about. So I would just have no AI. Because digitally making that, like being a digital artist, not being an AI artist, but being a digital artist where you are building the aspects of this movie, obviously you would use CGI normally, which is the borderline between AI and creativity, is you're going on a digital platform, you'll create the scale of how big the digital realm is, the dimensions, you would be drawing out the shapes of the graves and then designing the elements inside and then repeating the rows and then, you know, changing it like that. That's a skill set that someone could have been using or improving or practicing and whatnot, and it was just thrown away. So that's what I didn't like.
But did you like the movie overall?
Oh, I did. I still do, not did. I mean, I love musicals and I love theaters. again, the whole idea that this was like a theater or a play within a play was really awesome. Like all the elements made me very happy. You know, this may not be my favorite movie, but I'm so glad I watched it. And like you were saying, the backstage people getting the recognition, that's the grips. They're called grips, they're called grunts, they're called runners and whatnot. Like you saw a lot of them. People thanked them for doing what they did, and like they brought in the scenes. It was really cool, and it made me think about back when I was in theater, whether it was in college and high school. So it was nice. It was nice seeing like a production like that.
Oh yeah, that was fun. All the set changes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Did you like it overall?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it way better this time. I actually remember the movie.
That's first. Then what size popcorn would you get to watch this one?
I'd probably get a large.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would have been the size if you thought back to yourself when you first watched it?
Probably like an extra small.
Oh wow, that bad? Probably like no popcorn.
The fact that that I didn't remember that I had seen this movie at all.
Right.
And then to the point where I was remembering like the one thing, I was just like, the one deja vu thing, I was like, that woman is gonna sleep with the main character. That was the deja vu that I got.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, man, I'm really glad that I rewatched this movie, because I was just like not there for it the first time apparently.
Well, hey, that's always great. I feel like that is our philosophy of this podcast too, is that, you know, some people may have already watched these movies, but to just rediscover what you might have missed or hidden feelings that you agree about, it's just amazing. And, you know, we love showing each other movies that we haven't seen. We love discovering movies that we've never seen together, or even just watching a movie we've both seen and like getting giddy over the content. Definitely a few of our way longer episodes. We spent so much time being so giddy about the content, and it's great. It's great to have that space for it.
This is how by the way, getting giddy about it, I'm giving myself like a shout at the point where I was just like, how much I forgot this movie. I was just like, when it got to the scene where they went back to the 1800s, I was like, oh, no way, President Scrooge. I know. What? I freaked out.
I spoiled that moment for me, because I always, like, when I'm watching, I look up the cast list, and when I was really confused. I looked at the cast list, I saw Will Ferrell, and his cast name was Scrooge. I was like, what? No, that makes no sense. So then I had to like dive
apparently you gotta
into it.
watch it vanilla now.
Yeah. And it ruined the moment, but I still got excited because the whole scenery, how they recreated it was great, and his old look as Scrooge, to a T. Even especially his gnarly face mole, like that speaks Scrooge so much, and
like
I
you
loved
could see
it.
hair growing out of it.
Yeah, that was a staple for sure. I definitely am giving this movie a large as well. Originally, I was going with medium just because of the faultiness, and I don't know, it just like felt it was a different approach to the Christmas Carol. But then when I really thought about it towards the end of watching the movie, there's nothing wrong with it being a different approach, and I love it. I thought about it, and this movie has the potential to be a movie that I'll watch every Christmas time. And I don't watch a lot of Christmas movies because I don't really like Christmas. The only other one I like to watch is that the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah.
And or the, I don't remember the other one, but where they have like a Baby New Year, the Blizzard guy and the Mr. Wiser guy, and but you know, like that round, because it's like I don't know if it's claymation. Stop motion, thank you. Like that, those Christmas stop motion movies, I love them with the T, probably because I appreciate the craft, but it's such a fun story. Like those are usually the ones I like to watch every Christmas time if I remember, but this one I actually might, because I love Christmas Carol movies. I mean, it's probably going to be my number 2 favorite Christmas Carol adaptation after the Muppets.
Oh yeah,
Muppets. I'm going to say it right this time. Muppets.
I can totally agree with that though. It is good. My favorite to watch around the Christmas time is the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
With Jimmy Carrey? Or Jim Carrey?
No,
Why did I say Jimmy?
The classic one.
Classic? Oh, like the animated one?
Yeah, the cute little one.
Nah.
I love it so much. But now that we're wrapping up this podcast, we might as well go ahead and throw out the one we're going to watch next time, which is going to be the film Better Off Dead,
Oh,
starring John Cusack. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I don't think I have, but I heard about it. I don't know why. Maybe I have, because I would have definitely guessed that.
there is a
Cusack was in it.
Christmas scene in it,
Okay.
which is the reason why it's my family's like quote unquote Christmas movie that we watch every year.
Okay.
So
Great.
I figured we'd watch it.
Well, that's to come then. I mean, talking about family traditions next episode then. I think that would be a good time to put that in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for joining us.
And we will hear from you guys next time.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.